If you're looking for a 55 plus community in Arizona that feels like an escape from the desert with lush, green landscapes, then Trilogy at Vistancia is going to be a great option for you. The second you drive through the gates of this community, you are met with the extremely lush landscaping that Trilogy is known for. There's green grass everywhere. You have mature trees lining the streets, rivers flowing down the side of the road. It is just a very different experience from many of the other communities. I'd say this is the number one thing that separates Trilogy at Vistancia from other 55 plus communities in Arizona. You really just don't find very many options like this. Trilogy at Vistancia is on the smaller end as far as communities in Arizona go. There are 3,300 homes here in this community, but it is still large enough to where there is a ton of activity here, and they do have 2 clubhouses, so it never feels overcrowded. Before we get into the amenities, I want to quickly mention my free 55 plus community guide and spreadsheet. All you need to do is send me an email and I'll send this right over to you. My guide compares all of the different 55 plus communities in the Phoenix Valley, and it compares their home prices, the number of homes in the community, whether it's gated or not, the HOA fees, and everything you need to know about a community all in one place. So just reach out to me and I'll send that right over to you. So the first thing that you need to know is that there are 2 sides of Trilogy at Vistancia. You have the Kaa Club side and the MAA Club side. The Kaa Club is going to be the original side, so that does mean all of the homes and everything are a little bit older, but with that comes mature landscaping, and that's why you have the large trees lining the streets. So while the Kaa side of the community is extremely lush, very green, and you do have the tree-lined streets, the other side of the community is going to be a little bit different. Now, to get from the Kaa side to the MAA Club side, you actually have to exit the community, drive down the road a ways, and turn into a completely separate gate. So the communities are completely separate from each other, but they do share amenities, so you can go back and forth to whichever one you want. The MAA Club side has the newer homes over here, which is very attractive to many people. They aren't building brand new homes anymore, but they do have homes that are just a couple years old. Now, the downside to being in the newer section is that the landscaping is not quite as mature. The trees are smaller, so the streets don't feel as lush. There's just not as much grass and bushes on this side. It's a little bit of a more desert landscape over here, which is still great, but it is quite a bit different from the Kaa Club side. As I mentioned, both sides do have their own clubhouses. Now, the Kaa side clubhouse is the larger clubhouse and has absolutely everything that you could ask for. They have an indoor pool, an outdoor resort pool, they have a gym, and they have a ton of clubs and community groups that you can join, like ceramics, cooking club, art club, and different things like that. Now, of course, they do have all of the sports courts you could ask for here. They have tennis courts, pickleball courts, bocce ball, they have cornhole. One small critique that I would say about this community is they really don't have enough pickleball courts, I guess I would say. You go into some of these communities and there's just a ton of courts, tons of people playing on them, and here in Trilogy at Vistancia there really aren't that many courts, so I could see these getting a little bit busy at times if a lot of people are playing. The golf club is also here on the Kaa side, and that is going to be just outside the community gates because the golf club is public and they have a public restaurant there. The golf in this community is pretty good, and there are a lot of golf course options in the area as well, and the restaurant that is at the golf club is also very good as well. Again, the highlight of this Kaa Club is the mature landscaping here, tons of grass everywhere, you have water features, trees lining the streets. I know I've said this multiple times, but the greenery of this community really catches my eye as someone who was born and raised in Arizona, and sometimes you get sick of the desert landscape, so it is really nice to see a community like this. Driving around the neighborhood here on the Kaa Club side, you can see the homes are a little bit older. They started building in here in 2004, so some of the oldest homes are just now hitting 20 years old. We'll talk more about the houses in this community here in just a minute, but for now let's move on to the MAA Club side. This is the newer side of Trilogy at Vistancia, and it does have its own clubhouse, although it is a bit smaller. This clubhouse has an outdoor pool, a gym, they have sports courts here, they have a large patio and an event lawn, and they also have some rooms where different clubs will meet and things like that. This clubhouse is very nice and very modern, and it has most of what you would need, but it is just not as large and doesn't have as much going on in day to day. So some people will drive, even if they live close to the MAA Club, they'll drive their golf cart over to the Kaa Club because it's just a little larger and has a little bit more buzz going on there. You can see it is just not as green and lush over here on this side. It is still very nice, very well taken care of, and you get a pop of green every once in a while, but it's just not going to be as mature as the Kaa Club side is. You can see the homes are certainly newer newer here on this side. They finished building in this community in 2022, so many of the homes are just a few years old over here. Most people love how lush the Kiva Club side is, but then they love how new the homes are on the MAA Club side, so you kind of have to decide which one is more of a priority to you. But regardless of which side you choose to live on, you do have access to both sides. So if you live on the MAA Club side, you can take your golf cart right on over to the Kiva Club. It is not far away. The HOA in this community covers your access to the amenities, the guard gates, and common area maintenance, and that is going to be about $280 per month. You also have a one-time fee that you pay when you buy into the community, and that is going to be $3,360, and again, you only pay that one time. If you want to compare these different costs to other communities that you might be considering, just send me an email. My spreadsheet compares all of them in the Phoenix Valley right in one place for you. The homes here range from being built in 2004 all the way up to 2022, so there is quite a big range there. Now, you would think, as in most communities, the newer homes are going to have a much higher price than the older homes, but in Trilogy at Vistancia, it's a little bit of the opposite. Most people prefer the Kiva Club side, so there is a little bit of a premium on those homes even though they are older. So if you're okay with being on the MAA Club side, you may get a newer home for a little bit less than you would on the Kiva side for a similar home. Because of the large time frame that these homes were built in, there are a lot of different floor plans offered in here, ranging anywhere from smaller homes all the way up to large homes with guest casitas on the golf course. The median home sales price in Trilogy at Vistancia is going to be $700,000, but you can find options as low as the mid to high $400,000 range, all the way up to well above $1 million, depending on what you're looking for. The surrounding area is one of the best in all of the valley, in my opinion, and in most people's. It is tucked away in North Peoria in the northwest corner of the valley. This community is located in the larger master planned community of Vistancia. This is an all-ages community, and it is known as a higher-end neighborhood. The crime in this area is very low, and it is an extremely quiet and peaceful area with almost no traffic. This area is also still very much expanding. They are still building new homes in Vistancia itself, and just south of Vistancia in North Surprise, they are building a ton of new homes out there, and that is actually one of the fastest growing locations in all of Phoenix. You have very easy freeway access from this community as well. The 303 is just about a 5-minute drive away, and that provides access to the whole valley. There is shopping, grocery stores, and very nice restaurants right here in the community itself, and even more just about a 10-minute drive away. So needless to say, this community is located in one of the most desirable locations in all of the West Valley. You won't have to worry very much about crime, noisy roads, or long drives to shopping or dining. The one knock on this community's location is that it is definitely not a central location. You are about 50 minutes away from the airport in downtown, so if you want to be close to the airport, this may not be the best option for you. But realistically, most 55 plus communities are going to be 30 minutes or further away from the airport. There really aren't very many that are that close to the airport in downtown, so don't really discount the community because of that, but I just wanted to make you aware. I am a local realtor here, and I do a ton of work in these different 55 plus communities, and that's why I put together my 55 plus guide and spreadsheet. It's an easy place for you to compare all of the different communities, their fees, the home prices, the amenities they offer, and everything like that. So just send me an email and I'll send you that guide for free. Trilogy at Vistancia is one of my top suggestions for someone looking for a luxurious community in a very safe area. One of my other suggestions is Victory at Verado in Buckeye. Click here to watch my video on that community.